passed out the criteria that you used last time to the people that are here.
Everybody close? Jane, what's your number one?
My number one is a good financial and business manager.
Okay.
And financial and
She said business.
Business?
Manager. Business manager.
Scott?
Academics.
Strong academic,
Academic,
interest?
academic first.
oh man.
Just get a clue.
We say a true genius really can't spell.
Well, that's not me. And guess what? I'm the only one that has to read this because I'm going to type it up.
Communication.
Kathy?
Community involvement.
Lynn?
Welcoming to staff and community.
What do you mean by that? You said welcome to staff and community.
Welcoming.
Welcoming, okay. Open. Okay. Sharon?
A strong leader.
Strong leader. Jim?
I've got curriculum and academics.
Can we put academics
Yeah,
first,
that's fine,
curriculum?
yep.
Is that okay with?
Yeah.
Jane?
Yes, can you read me what was up there?
Yeah, good financial and business, good finance and business manager, academics first and curriculum, good communicator or communication skills, community involvement, welcoming to staff and community, and strong leader.
I have, honest and innovative.
Those two things?
I got it. Only, I've done other than Hawkeye fan.
Teresa?
Mine are all different. Sorry.
I'm gonna go with motivated.
Motivated or motivating?
Motivational.
Or both?
Sure.
You didn't type mine down.
Huh?
You didn't type
I know.
I went right
I
back.
understand. No, it's you and I. Actually, you and I. Okay, Jackie?
Good facilitator.
I'm old, just leave me alone. Okay, Jane, here's what we've added. Honest, innovative, motivator, and motivated. A good facilitator, committed to Belmont Clemmy, kid-orientated, knowledge of state laws and rules and regulations.
How about approachable?
Approachable.
That would be kinda like welcome.
You know what, write it down, and we can
Yeah.
consolidate.
Scott's done. Teresa? Don't have to make a
You got honest, but I was gonna say trustworthy. It's the same thing, but, I pretty much have everything that's already been up there.
Okay,
I know.
Jackie's out. Lynn?
Treat everybody fair.
The mindset for success for Belmont County, I don't know if that has anything to do with committed to or.
Okay.
Yep, perfect.
Done? 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 Done. What's been added, approachable, treats everyone fairly, and has a positive mindset or approach to life. That's been added.
That's good, I'm done.
Okay? We're all done. Now you do the putting together, which are similar. You don't want this, do you?
I'm gonna,
Oh,
you want me to put them, I'll put them on here. What can we put together? What do you see?
I think approachable and welcoming maybe could go together somehow.
Okay. Okay, how would we write that together? I think it's
They're
the same
almost the
thing.
same,
I
aren't
think
they?
it's
Yeah,
the same thing,
yeah.
but.
When you think about it.
It just depends on how you wanna,
Yeah,
how
do
you
you
wanna
wanna use the-
actually,
do
you
you
wanna
wanna use
use
the word-
approachable, or do you wanna?
No, right now, let's just, do we want, and then we'll put something together and that'll be, what do you wanna do now?
It's up to you.
Has an approachable demeanor that is welcoming to, what does that say?
Staff and community.
Students, staff, and community.
Students also, yes.
Okay, all right, that sounded really good. Jackie, give it to me again.
Has an approachable demeanor that is welcoming to students, staff, and community.
To students.
Staff and community, yeah.
So we've taken,
Welcoming and approachable.
can we take anything else off of here?
Yeah, probably, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Kids
wouldn't
are
that fit,
involved
no,
in that.
or yes?
You think that welcoming the students, or is that approachable to students, is that kid oriented, or? Is that
I would say staff.
Would you repeat that?
I would say
We have both of those on there.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
Here you go, one more time, Jane. Has an approachable demeanor that is welcoming to students, staff, and community.
I see, thank you.
Yep.
So it was yours, Sharon, do you think kid-oriented falls into
Yeah.
that?
I think so.
All right, well, we'll take that off.
We wanna end up with 4 to 6, no more than that.
Yes.
Can we change community to communities?
Oh, yep, good catch. I see.
The treat everybody fair, doesn't that fit in that category also?
It's welcoming to students, staff, and community.
No?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay.
It should.
It should, yeah, okay.
Can we get this and this and this? I see those kind of get the knowledge, the good finance, a strong leader, a strong leader who is knowledgeable with state and federal rules and regulations and has a solid financial and business
You're gonna put-
manager background.
Yeah, you're gonna put that one together, cause that's consistent with every school district that we've ever worked with.
Okay, so I think we have a strong leader who
Is knowledge, go to the top one over there.
is
State laws, rules, and regulations.
knowledgeable in
You're gonna have to work school finance there too,
yep, correct.
which you can do.
Comma. Good
And has a solid
financial,
financial business manager. Oh.
solid financial background.
Yeah, I think you can leave the business manager off of there.
Yeah, I think so.
And has a solid foundation
School finance.
in Iowa school finance. Did I leave something out?
No, that sounds good.
So
I agree.
that's one,
Cross off strong leader
strong leader's gone,
and knowledge.
this is gone. Oh, here, I can see this right here. All three of these would work into well, all four of those, if we want to come up with a comment. Don't you see that? And then innovative facilitator that's committed to Belmont Clemmy and has the ability.
Innovative school leader that motivates, and can facilitate groups. That's,
What are you trying to put together, the bottom, those four?
Maybe.
An innovative and motivational leader.
Person.
Or facilitator, I don't know.
Yeah,
That is
Who is
committed
committed
to
to-
Belmont Clemmy.
okay.
do you wanna put long range in there somehow?
Long range?
Yeah.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
before,
I'm not supposed to say that.
that's okay. I think that I know I was, I just didn't get it down.
Down at the state school board went to, and they said, they came right out and told us that our chances of getting a really good superintendent because of our track record is probably slim to none.
Facilitator.
They said that? presents a challenge.
We were talking that superintendents have been there for 20 years, to schools.
Can you read the ones you brought to me?
You bet. Has an approachable demeanor that is welcoming to students, staff, and community. A strong leader who is knowledgeable in state rules, regulations, and has a solid foundation for Iowa school finance. An innovative, motivational facilitator who has a long-range commitment to Belmont Clinic.
So,
Well, I think when we talk about the community aspect of it, and I think that's what, I work in a hospital and we deal with the same issues. If
Yeah,
Belmont
that's still up
residents don't feel involved, don't feel communicated with, or that person isn't out in the community, there's a lot of discord and a lot of
We haven't left that out, Jane,
We
gotten
haven't
to
got
that
there yet.
one yet.
we're not there yet.
Okay, thank you.
Fly home.
But the number 3 and 4, I think she was trying to put together.
Communication, community
Involvement.
involvement, and you could, positive mindset, you could probably throw all of that in there, can't you?
A strong communicator who is involved in the internal and external communities.
With the positive mindset.
Okay, there you go.
Now remember, now,
Strong communicator,
Yep,
right?
internally.
Who is
And I know you can't require anybody or ask anybody to live in our community, but for our community, that's very,
you can't do that, but I can. And I say it this way. The board is very interested in you living there.
correct.
So they know it, but you can't require it. But I make a strong statement when I deal with them.
I just think that allows that person to become more involved automatically in the community.
right?
So you can cross off 2, 3, and 4 in
And
the
then
bottom
a
one.
positive mindset.
What's left?
This should be
You
alone.
need curriculum, yeah.
Yeah,
Curriculum
that one
and
kinda
then-
has to stand alone.
I think so too.
Yep.
Educational leader who has a strong background in academics and curriculum.
Sounds great.
See, what we do then is when somebody makes an application, they have to say, this is how we do this.
I've used strong so many times. A strong academic leader, no, I didn't say that. Educational leader. I'm an educational leader, I don't need strong.
That puts academics and curriculum, curriculum and academics first. Student learning first. That's not, student learning's not up there, but it's really what you're talking about.
Right.
Because you can have strong curriculum and strong academics, but if nobody's learning.
everybody fairly, consistently and fairly.
That's great. You've done this
How
before.
did I say that? Somebody tell me what I said.
An honest slash trustworthy leader that treats everybody fairly.
Only read so fast.
Leader?
Yes.
Lisa,
Who,
Who treats everybody
Fairly.
fairly.
Now, do we have them all? I think we do, don't we?
we do.
We do.
They're followed.
There's 2, 4, 6, we can live with 6 if you guys, now, he'll dress this up and make it
Yes.
real, like we sound smart, he'll make it sound smart.
What I'll do is, I'll do that first thing in the morning. I'll send it to Lisa. Lisa will then send it to all you guys.
Okay.
All right, and then what we'd ask you to do then is check it. If you agree with it, fine. If you wanna tweak something that I've done, make sure you get that back to Lisa and she'll forward it right to me. Actually, if you want my email address, you can send it right to me if you want. And mine is just all small case, Michael.
Is it on your cards?
It's not on the
Oh, okay.
cards, I'm sorry. Dot, B as in boy, dot, Billings at gmail.com. Again, if you feel more comfortable, just send it to Lisa.
Now, the little yellow sheets in front of you go 1 through 5. We'd like to have you rank,
Oh, there's this thing. I can get you a 6 also. I thought we were gonna end up with 5.
well, I think 6 will come just by
Yep, yep.
default, won't it?
At Gmail.
Gmail.com,
I want
yes.
you to put your choices, what's your most important choice, put 1. Number 2, put 2. And then we just want you to stick it right on there.
Okay.
Just stick it right on there.
Oh, we're just supposed to
Yeah,
stop and see.
Yep,
go up there and stick it on there.
Oh.
The lowest number then, because the 1 is the most important.
Yes.
Okay.
Golf, we're playing golf, folks.
Yeah, hole in 1.
Jane, why don't you do the same thing? Do you have them written?
No, you read on.
You bet. First one has an approachable demeanor that is welcoming to students, staff, and communities. Second one, a strong leader who is knowledgeable in state and federal rules and regulations and has a solid foundation in Iowa school finance. Third one, an innovative motivational facilitator who has a long-range commitment to Belmont plumbing. The fourth one, a strong communicator who is involved with the internal and external communities and has a positive outlook. And number 5, an educational leader who has an outstanding background in academics and curriculum and puts students first. And the last one, an honest / trustworthy leader who treats everybody fairly. Why don't you number those and we'll do it when everybody's done here.
Sounds good. I have one question. Does this sound like everybody else, every other school that's looking for one? Or is it something that's gonna stand out, you know?
Everyone's looking for finance.
Everybody's looking for somebody that has a background in curriculum and academics, of course.
And that's becoming stronger and stronger as the years go by. They want somebody that gets their hands dirty in curriculum and testing and stuff. Most everybody wants somebody who can get along with everyone, and it gets difficult to walk on water sometimes.
We didn't get to add extracurricular like athletics and all that stuff, but I think that's important too.
Yeah, and I think I think it's under being involved.
Okay.
Right.
We'll do that with people. I hope.
I could have been the 6, I really could have. I thought you said it was 5.
We are overachievers.
I was gonna say that, if you beat me to it.
Okay, so I have 4 and 5. That's my life.
You had a lot of input there, Teresa, so.
I know.
So the lowest score wins, we don't have a 6.
Still a little upset that Hawkeye fan not up there.
No, that's, I think that's just automatic, Scott.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Tomorrow at work. Iowa State.
Just totalies and then ask.
And,
5. Jane, what did you have for the first one? Has an approachable demeanor.
Number 2.
2?
2.
Okay. How about the second one? A strong leader who is knowledgeable in state and federal ranks, etc.
Number 1.
Okay. How about an innovative, motivational facilitator, long-range commitment?
I have 5.
How about a strong communicator who is involved with the internal and external communities and has a positive outlook?
Number 3.
An educational leader who has an outstanding background in academics?
6.
Okay, 6 we won't add. Okay. 9, 11. Okay, and then an honest, trustworthy leader who treats everybody fairly.
4.
3s and 4s, that's all.
9, 13, 17, 21, 24, and 4 is 28. Right? Okay, it goes. The first one is the educational leader who has the outstanding background in academics and curriculum. There's a tie for the second one. The communicator who is involved internally and externally, and the regs and rules and finance. And then 14 would be, the next one would be the innovative, motivational facilitator who has a long-range commitment. And then approachable demeanor, and then honest and trustworthy.
Mike, can you see that by us not putting 6s on there, the one that we have the least affection for is gonna have the
Yeah,
lowest
yeah.
score?
Do you wanna just go to 6 and do it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's fine. We can do
Except
that.
now I can't remember which one I left out.
Really,
Do you think it's gonna, I think all of them are important to you.
They are, yeah,
then let's just
leave it,
leave it.
okay.
Let's just leave it. we're gonna have them write to every one of those.
Okay.
We're not kicking any of them out.
Okay.
That's just-
You understand that part of the application will have questions on each one of them, so. I think you did a great job.
That's good.
I think there's, guys, you can work together. Okay?
I'm just gonna lay this over, just the way it is.
You wanna take this off? Well, let's move on. Best thing that happened on TV ever was the 9 o'clock news. Though. Trust me. All right. We have a list of options for advertising. In today's world with electronic and internet and everything else, I guess I'm asking you guys if you see a need to use the Des Moines Register or do use the professional journals across the nation. These are the things that we provide free of charge. First of all, our website, McPherson and Jacobson, and as you know, that's hits 100,000 hits per month. So as soon as this hits, you know there's going to be. We have a Facebook page. We have Twitter account. The School Board Association will host it. School Administrators of Iowa will host it. There's a site called K-12 Job Spots. It will be. Indeed.com it will be. SimplyHired.com. Council of Greater City Schools will host it. And then there's a vacancy announcements, I don't know for sure. And then, of course, you know that by law we have to advertise on Teach Iowa. And the governor made it very clear that that was his venture down there. And then there was one other that I was going to mention. It slips my mind. But you're going to have great coverage. And I mean, I'm not telling you you can't use those other, but if you want, for example, our professional journal, the superintendents, is the AASA, and for 30 days, it's $410. I don't think you're gonna get any more than you are on the coverage that you're gonna have on the internet. I really don't. Education Week is $400 a week. Again, I don't think you have a lot of people that are gonna read that trade journal, so. If we didn't get a lot of activity right away, we'll communicate that to you. But I think it's gonna be broadcast. As of tomorrow, it's gonna be started out. So are we okay with what we have? I'll communicate
I
that with
agree.
the office. And the last thing that we wanna do, well, that's not true. We've got two things to do, and this one doesn't take a commitment tonight, but I think it will help us if we can at least get a range. I went to the Department of Education's website and ran there. These are all 2014-15 data, okay? That's the most recent you can get. These are salaries, and these are just salaries. They don't include the benefits. Okay? But it does have the experience that people have within a district or in the superintendent.
These are schools our size.
Yes, that's exactly what
Would I
it
be able
is.
to
You'll
take a
see you.
picture of this and send it to her so she
You can see the enrollment on the left column.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
she was wondering if she could send a
Can I
picture
take a
to
picture
Jane.
of this and send it to Jane so she has it on
Sure.
her phone so she can?
I
Oh,
have it,
okay.
yeah, I can send it.
Okay.
You can see where you guys are. You're in the middle of that group. Taking out the shared superintendencies, the low would be Rock Valley at 112,000. The high would be Appleton Parkersburg at 147. And currently, or last year, you guys were at 123.5. I honestly think if you can at least think about a range. Now, Dennis thought that maybe we talked about it the other day, I don't remember that, whether somebody mentioned a range.
That's what, yeah, because you don't wanna lock yourself in. If you get the diamond, you wanna have the ability to pay. And we basically usually say, depending on, experience, what's the term? Subjects pay on experience and,
You don't need an answer tonight.
Yeah.
No, okay.
well, we'd like to have a range. If I talk to you on the phone tomorrow, I'd like to say they're gonna be somewhere around, if this was 123, 115 to 130. I just threw that out there, because that's, 123 would be in the middle somewhere.
From last year, and
that's a
at
year
about
old.
2%, probably across the board. I would guess the average would be 2 to 3% from last year's salaries to this year's. I don't know what you did with Kurt's. Like I said, this is the most recent data you can get from the School Board Association and from the department page. I was playing with numbers and wrote down 125 to 140 as a range, but I'm not working here. I mean, I'm working for you, but I'm not working in the district, so.
Did you say 125 to what?
140 is what I had when I was thinking about it this morning, Jane, when I was looking at the data. And I'm not gonna tell you that if you find, like Dennis just said, that diamond that you really think hits it out of the park, that you may have to negotiate above that. Understand that. If you really get down to the person that everybody comes and says, you know what, this is really, yeah, and we feel like he's gonna be the commitment, for the whole, we may have to come back and help you negotiate with that person, which is part of our fee also.
Those two columns after total salary, is that experience in the district and total experience?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yep. The contract days, Jane, we're looking at numbers, probably about, I don't know how many, probably about 30, no, maybe not that many, 20, 25 districts. And you heard me say the low and the high?
Yes, I did.
Okay, all right. The contracts, generally, it's a 260-day contract, and then you guys decide how many vacation days you allow. And we'll talk about package at last meeting.
And these are the shared ones.
Well, I don't know the way Kirk talks, I don't think we can afford a lot more than what we're currently paying, can we?
So does this go out to these applicants then?
When we start recruiting, or if somebody calls us about the job, it's nice to be able to give them a range, not a specific salary. So.
Can
yes.
we afford more than what we're paying now, is my question.
Can we afford not to?
I don't know.
We can't, Dennis and I can't answer that except to tell you, it's an extremely, extremely competitive market because the supply and demand is next to impossible. It's becoming more and more difficult to attract superintendents to the position.
And principals.
Especially high school principals.
Yeah.
Middle school, high
Middle
school.
school, high school, becoming more difficult as well.
Say again what your thought was.
I just wrote down 125 to 140, Jackie. I really didn't spend a whole lot just looking at that range.
I would be with you.
Simple average.
You know, if we go down any, Scott, you know what we're gonna get?
I totally agree with you, I'm just saying.
know that
I,
we'd like to save money,
yeah.
but we could
sometimes you have to
possibly.
spend money to save money.
There you go, yeah.
Well, and we did talk, Dennis and I
Well, I
talked.
have a range down here and I don't have an issue with if we're gonna get that right person. It's going to be worth it in the long run.
You still have the right when we're all said and done, what the salary's gonna be.
That's exactly right.
This is just an
Just-
idea.
Yeah, we're not committing to anything.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not
Put this in your
committing.
advertisements that our range of salary.
We don't advertise that.
No.
That'll be verbal if anything from us.
But you don't tell the applicants anything about that.
Not unless they ask, and then we'll give them the range that you guys gave us. But we don't advertise in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, thank you.
Nor will we discuss the discussion that you have, that's taking place right now.
I say we go with your recommendation.
Everybody,
Everybody all right with that?
I am.
okay.
That's what we will, when we're recruiting, that's what we'll use. That's as far as it's gonna go, folks. All right, and then, let's nail down our stakeholders' groups, first of all. I'll give you an example of what we've done in the past, just for you to consider. Obviously, you're gonna wanna have an administrative team group that's gonna have input and probably be involved in interviews, right? I would guess. Okay. Do you want a group of students, high school age?
Yes.
Okay. Support staff and certified staff, do you want to do them separately, or do you, for the input phase, it's different than the interview phase. Do you want to just say school employees for a stakeholder? Think about the number of people that can attend an input meeting. Oh, one other thing, they're gonna have a week where it will be on your website and our website to have input also. So they don't have to attend the meetings.
No.
Oh,
So would you draw enough teachers for an input session
I'm sure. you will.
and a support staff input session? Or do you want to throw them together? Just throwing it out. And then, of course, the parent/community group.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so I mean, those are what we've used in the past. I don't know if there'd be another group that you would think about, but it does cover whatever's gonna happen. And also, once we do the press release tomorrow, I'll send to Lisa, we'll invite the parent/community at large for anybody to come to that meeting. And then we're gonna ask you also to get up to 10 names of parent/community members to Lisa with addresses that she can submit to our office.
Total of 10 from the 7 board
Yes,
members.
yes, yes. Yes,
Total of
yes.
10 from the 7
Now,
board.
obviously, that doesn't mean it's only gonna be 10 coming, because that blanket invitation is gonna go whatever newspaper that you want the press release in.
But they'll be like the speakers of that group.
Nope, they're just being a personal invitation.
Oh, okay.
They're getting something from our office saying, the board has asked
Oh,
you if
okay.
you would like to attend this input session. We're still gonna have to nail it down to who's gonna be part of the interview group later. This is strictly input. This is strictly input. Now, it may be the 10 people that you identify.
Okay.
I'm not saying it won't. But I think Dennis's past is, they sign in, and we let them know if they're interested in committing the time for the interviews, because that's a commitment.
4 or 5 days, and some people can't do it.
Yeah, yeah. So, this is just really, how does that sound for the stakeholder groups?
Those are good.
I agree with those.
The only thing I would.
Now, are you gonna do the teachers and the support staff separate, or are you gonna put
Yeah.
them, so many teachers and so many support staff together?
I'd just do it separate.
I would too.
The only question I had with that, Sharon, is do you think that there'll be enough support staff to come to an input session and enough teachers that would come? So then I would separate.
I
If you were
believe
worried
so.
about numbers, then I'd put them together. It sounds to me like you'd have enough to make this.
And we usually try and do that one at 2:30 because the bus driver hadn't gone out and the cooks are just getting done.
We'll work with the administrative team first probably, or whenever we probably need to try and schedule that, and I don't know. I'll play with the schedule and send it out, and then maybe you guys can send it out to the groups or to the principals and see if they can do that. And perhaps the principals, a lot of times it's so easy to use the high school student council for input. It depends on how, personally, I would involve your high school principal, your principals in helping decide that. You want a student group, turn it over to them. Basically, I think you're gonna wanna have the student group involved with the candidates too at the interviews, but that's more of a sit and confer, just maybe at lunch, you pull those students that they select and they have a chance to meet the people and just talk to them. Well, didn't you tell the story of?
There's two districts that after doing this for 14 years, I'd go to in a heartbeat because of the kids. Today, I would go to those districts because the kids were so dynamic and so upbeat that it's just fun to be around them.
But sounds like the groups that we want for stakeholders. And we're gonna plan on, what do we set that date? It's in the book, so.
February 4th.
And Dennis and I will come out and lead them through a similar process for input. With that said,
Done, boss?
we have the contract. I think that is the, any questions for us?
I've got a comment. I hope tonight, our earlier session, that you've made a commitment to do something to get on the same page. If I can tell our prospective candidates, they know about it, they talked about it, and they made a commitment to do it better, I'll feel comfortable. I don't know what that is for you guys, but can I say that to them?
Well, I believe that we definitely took a first step in putting some stuff out there and
Good, that's what I meant.
Do I need one?
Anybody want a blank calendar to put stuff on? I enjoyed it, folks. I enjoyed it, but I enjoy this. I've got a copy in my contract, and you've got the one, and then, Lisa, I'll get an email out tomorrow morning to you with the press release, with some of their stuff that we talked about. I'll do that calendar, the one that has it written down, and everything's gonna be, and then if you wanna forward that out to everybody. I believe that's correct. Oh, is it? I think it's, yes, I believe that's correct.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Drive safe.
Thank you all.
Thank you, thanks for joining us. Don't tell us if it's nice down there. Dennis,
We're right out here, it's open, no alarms.
we're gonna move this back.
I won't get it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Good night.